Welcome to the Farm RPG Podcast with your host, Boobun. It's been a couple of weeks off as I've had some crazy work schedule travel interrupt my podcast editing time. You can believe that sometimes work might get in the way. Where are your priorities, Boobun? In any case, we're happy to kick things back off. We have 3 fantastic player spotlights. Been recorded a couple of weeks ago. We're happy to get those out now. First, we have an interview with Blinkinator. Next player spotlight will be with Mortality. And last is with witchcore. We follow that up with Tea Time with Boobun and Auggie. All right, you've waited long enough for this episode, so let's kick it off. Enjoy. This is another player spotlight on the Farm RPG Podcast. As always, I am your host, Boobun, and with me today is Blinkinator.
Hey there.
Hey, thanks for agreeing to come on the show. One of our staff members, Hans, reached out to you originally. And to be honest, I think he was looking over your account because of some relative, what would we call it, speed running you've kind of accomplished since joining the game recently.
Yeah, I think that you mentioned that originally, and I when I did my four times 99, somebody, I don't even remember who it was, in the chat told me I should mention it on Discord, and I did, and I think people have been keeping an eye on me, and I'm not sure how long Hans has been, but yeah, when I did my Tower 100 run, he reached out. So
I'm looking at your profile, 4x99 at 10 days. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I had no idea how it was received by the community, and also how how quick it was. Honestly, I started playing the game just on a whim. I know that might be I read the questions in advance, obviously, but yeah, I was looking for a game to play, and I just downloaded it and jumped right into it. So when I started playing it, I had no frame of reference, if you will, on how quick that was until it obviously started getting a little bit more attention.
Yeah, I think that the later you started playing, the quicker it was. For those of us that started when the game first launched a little over a year ago, I think I was the first one to hit 499s, and that was maybe, I would say early October, maybe September, in that time frame. So, we're talking like 6 months.
Oh wow, I didn't know that was you. That's awesome. Nobody had told me who the first one to hit it was. That's really cool. And yes, I've heard from from many people many times how much easier it's gotten to hit it over time.
Well, even with that, it's still a pretty impressive feat. So you started playing,
Appreciate
looks
that.
like the 12th of June, which was a day short of a month from the time of recording. Got that 1 month anniversary coming up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so where did you first, you said you started playing Farm RPG on a whim. Where did you first hear about it?
Yeah, so I was actually looking at just the new games, or games that are categorized on iOS. I have an iPhone. I think it was pretty late at night, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it was after midnight, but it might actually be one day shy. I downloaded it, and one of the first days that I started playing it, stakes were like at an all-time low. And again, I'm brand new, so I really don't know what this means so much, but I can't remember how much silver they were. I think it was like 23,000 or 29,000 or something like that. So I was trying as best I could in giveaways to get anything that I could to sell. And I was telling everybody that, so they weren't giving me anything special, but I was just vendoring everything. I was selling it all at the farmer's market, trying to get as much silver as possible, because the theory was I could try and double or even triple my money, according to what people were saying in help chat. So I wasn't trying to minimize or maximize my gameplay right away, knowing anything, but I guess I already was when I heard about that. But I had just come off of another mobile game, Summoner's War. I've been playing that for about 5 years, and I was looking for something to kind of fill that gap. So if you're ever wondering where my obsessive gaming comes from, that's probably it.
Yeah, I do remember the stakes being that cheap, and it's still a pretty big deal for us, even late game. The larger your inventory, the more you make off the stakes. Although it kind of gets washed in the noise late game, but early game, that's a pretty big jump in income silver. Hit that just right.
Yeah, that was huge. There was the stars had to align, obviously, to get the run going that quick, and I had no idea how lucky I was. But just within that same 3 day period of starting, one of the community centers was like 50 or 100 honey, and that's a pretty well known wall to hit when you're low. And while I did still have some uh, guides that I followed, like getting the owl to 5 as quick as possible to get more honey, and then some other sources of the honey from the wishing well and whatnot. I had no idea how big it was to get honey that early as well, so definitely got lucky early on.
Yeah, honey gel is real. It's painful. I've been there. There's a reason there's one of the emblems is for honey gel.
Yes, that one in corn jail. It's always funny how deep down the well you find that corn jail goes. In fact, when I finished my tower run, I saw there was like another Fourth of July quest that opened up at Tower 100 for 5,000 corn, and I don't even have 5,000 inventory, so I couldn't complete that one if I wanted to. But I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, I'm currently working on GMing corn. I'm about 10K ish off finishing that up. So had that request come for 5,000 corn. I'm like, oh, I'm set. I'm good.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
go.
chump
We'll take
change
that
for
one.
somebody GMing corn. Yeah.
But not even playing for a month. If you were going to give somebody your sales pitch to play Farm RPG, what would that be?
Yeah, it's a good question. I actually gave that sales pitch to my wife about a week in. I got her addicted. So she's a huge fan of games like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing. And I think that Farm RPG would be in the same vein as those games. I really like the whole resource management, building, crafting, selling, running your own shop, so to speak, with the different types of items that you're doing. And there's a lot of those elements in those games as well. So she is well on her way now to 4x99 herself. She's got a couple skills already at 99. So she's enjoying it as much as I was at the start there too. And so yeah, I would just say if you're a fan of those types of can be relaxing resource management type of games, this is a great one.
So I'm looking at what I'm assuming is your wife's account, and she's not going to beat you on that 10 days to 90. Hopefully 90 hours.
No, she is not. She is not. There's a couple things in life that she's deviated far enough from me that we're not in that same vein. But she is a gamer, and she's just not an obsessive gamer like I am.
It's all right. You don't need too many of those in one household. One or two is enough.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
So Blinkinator is your Farm RPG username. Where did that come from? And is that one you use everywhere, or is it unique for Farm RPG?
Yeah, that's a good question. And when I saw that one, we'd realized we'd have to chat about that for just a second. So I've actually had this in every single game that I've ever played since Quake One, which is dating myself a bit, but it's really the first multiplayer FPS that ever came out for PC, and the first mainstream one at least. And the game right before it came out, I was talking to some people online because online chatting was really all we had back then before multiplayer gaming. And one person that I was particularly close to, a good friend of mine, suggested, I was looking for names to play to be myself on Quake 1. And I couldn't think of what I wanted my username to be, and they suggested Blinkinator, and I told them it was ridiculous and it sounded crazy. And I talked to them daily, so while I really respected their opinion, I wasn't going to go with that name because it didn't really hold much value, and I didn't think it was worth using. But anyhow, on a sadder twist of things, that person went dark on me right after that. Actually, it was like 2 days after they suggested the name, and about a week before Quake came out. Quake came out, I started playing. I don't even remember the username that I started with. And then about a week after that, that person signed back on, and I tried to message them and stuff. And then eventually someone came on and said, unfortunately, that they were a relative who had booted up their computer. They had died in a car crash a couple of weeks ago. So I've actually used this name as a memorial to that person for the last 20 or so, 25 or 7 years of gaming in every single game that I've played since. So if you've known a Blinkinator through gaming, you've probably been talking to me. I don't know of any others.
Well, Kind of a sad story, but a cool story at the same time. I like that. Yeah, the I remember when the original Quake came out. It was '96, I believe.
Yeah, that's that's a ways ago. Yeah, like I said, I'm dating myself with that one, but it was a fun game, and it was a great way to start a very long life of gaming. I've been gaming ever since.
Fantastic. Yeah, that was my high school years.
Nice, yeah,
I
same
do those
here
well.
actually. So yeah, we're in the same zone.
So in addition to Farm RPG, Quake, and I think you said Summoner Wars, what other games do you play?
Yeah, so I'm currently involved with a raft playthrough, both one with my wife and one with some of my gaming buddies. So raft is like a survival-esque type game, pretty fun stuff. And then I also play World of Warcraft still pretty extensively, though it is trailed off. I do the um, Mythic Dungeons on the timer, the Mythic Keystone Dungeons for those familiar with World of Warcraft. And I like to push for Keystone Master and Keystone Hero each season. So now that I've achieved that for this one, I'm waiting on the new season, which starts in early August, but I'll be right back there at the start of that when that happens. And then pretty much anything else that's garners any really good gaming attention. Not really a Dark Souls type game fan, but those types, Elden Ring, those when they get really popular, those types of games, I'll always pick up and try out.
So I'm guessing you have played Skyrim then.
Yeah, I've done a couple playthroughs of Skyrim, as everybody that nobody ever plays through it just once. I put the black hole, the pit of time into Skyrim like everybody else.
I hadn't. Auggie gave me a lot of crap about that for weeks and weeks, so I finally picked it up a couple weeks ago.
Oh, nice. Well,
On sale.
goodbye to your free time. Hopefully, it doesn't cut too hard into your farm RPG.
Yeah, no, most of my free time is editing podcasts nowadays.
I suppose.
Or Farm
Yeah.
RPG. Yeah, I played a little bit of it, not too much yet. I've gotten to where you kill the first dragon, and that's as far as I've gotten.
That's a big moment right there. I remember that first dragon coming up at you. Yeah, that's a cool one.
All right. So the next question is kind of a philosophical one. It could be related to Farm RPG, but doesn't have to be. It could be anything else in general. If there's one thing that you wish the Farm RPG community knew, what would that be?
Yeah, I think I can relate this to farm RPG. So my experience with the I guess what ended up being a speed run through this game, though I really ended up just playing it a ton because I liked it, was obviously, and I don't know if you need to, we can cut this part out, but I like to pay to play the games that I like to play. I have no problem with that. Supports the games, and some people either don't have the means or they choose not to, and I think that that's totally fine ways to play as well. And this one in specific, Farm RPG, is a game that you can play at any pace you like. I happen to run through it really fast to get to where I am now. I am still playing as much as I was before I hit Tower 100. I'm still enjoying it absolutely. I haven't changed my gaming habits at all since I hit it. So a lot of people have asked me if I'm still going to play if I've beat the game and things, and I don't feel like I've beat the game. I'm working on GMs and things, but the point is, through talking about a lot of this, I've kind of encountered some people who've not agreed so much with how I've chosen to play. And I think that not only with Farm RPG, but just with most things in life in general, as long as it doesn't impact your experience with the game or with life or with whatever you're doing, um, everybody can find enjoyment in whatever it is that they want to in life, however they choose to do it, as long as it doesn't harm anybody else's experience or life in general. I think that's okay. And I've chosen to do this a very different way than most people have. And I don't even know if it was an active, mindful choice because I didn't really know what I was getting into when I started. But I've enjoyed it every single hour that I've played this game. And I know that people that play it much differently than me, maybe they log in a few times a week, even on the other end of the spectrum, they still enjoy what they're doing too. And there's nothing wrong with either way. I think that's probably it.
I like that a lot. There's not really a wrong way to play Farm RPG other than breaking the rules.
Right,
That one will get you in
exactly.
trouble, but as long as you're following the rules, you can play however you like, and that's all right.
You got it.
I like your stance on the financial support as well. We've actually talked about this quite a bit on the podcast. That there are plenty of players who feel like we're getting a lot of value out of this game. We like to support it financially here and there where we can, and have absolutely no problem with people that choose not to because they like the free to play route for whatever reason that is. We don't need to know. If that's what that's your cake. It's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be completely honest, and I said this multiple times right when I was first starting, and that's why I wasn't even hesitant to support this game when I started playing it, is because Summoner's War, as I've mentioned, another mobile game, has a totally different structure in terms of paying money into the game. It's not a small company, obviously, that's a big part of it, but the payment structure, and this has caught a lot of heat with Diablo Immortal and things like that, is predatory, is thrown out a lot, and farm RPG's spending structure is A, not necessary, and B, completely and wide open to what you can do with the currency, and it's one currency, and it's obviously not predatory, and it just feels generally like you're supporting the game instead of buying your way to the top. Like a few people that I've talked to have mentioned this, and it's totally accurate, that regardless of money that I've spent in the game, I still put in 6 to 10 hours a day, roughly, to my boss's dismay if they knew, each day since I started playing. And we're coming right up on a month right now. And so it's not the only factor. And it isn't possible, in my opinion, to purchase your way through the honey jails and the corn jails and things like that. And those are put in place to protect the player from predatory spending by the way the game is designed, instead of trying to exploit that, because other games might be, unlimited grape juice charges for X dollars. Those types of things would be warning flags to see come up. And as far as I can tell, they're staying as far away from that as possible.
Yeah, there's definitely a few limits that are in there, regardless of whether you're paying. You get some extension to that when you're a Patreon supporter or in beta or in alpha testing, to some extent. But there's some gates that you just have to take time to get through. No way around it.
Force you to enjoy the game.
So, what are you currently working on in Farm RPG?
Yeah, good call. So I was farming forest for the last few days, testing out the craft works, and that with that I discovered pretty much everybody else is doing the exact same thing. So anything that I wanted to sell was a little saturated in the market. So now I've moved on a bit to working on a ton of different GMs with my craft works, and also with just exploring a few zones. So just before I hopped on here, I was doing Highland Hills with green dye to turn them into scarves, and the purple dye is going into leather bags, which I'm also making from the forest leather. And the forest is going to paste that I'm selling any extra from the bags, and also obviously large nets, because that's pretty much the bread and butter. But I'm trying to balance keeping my economy going, which is nice, and also getting the GMs up, because when you hit the top of the tower, it says right there that more levels might be coming soon, and I'd like to be at a good starting line when that happens. So I'm not stopping anytime soon. I want to get that knowledge up, which I can pretty much only get from GMs.
Yeah, that is the biggest chunk by far. I think a lot of us are there. We're the point where we're trying to hoard Ascension knowledge and hoard silver for when the next tower levels hit. At some point, they will. I think we're probably a ways off on that. Just seeing what Firestream's working on at the moment, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, you never know. And if it doesn't happen, then I'll be a little bit further ahead. And if it does happen, then hopefully I'll have a little bit more than when I started the last tower climb.
Well, I feel like we've learned a lot about you already through our discussion. Is there any other interesting facts about yourself you'd like to share with us?
I thought about this one for a while, but not too much. I just got a new kitten a couple days ago to add to the two that we had in the home. Mostly my wife's choice, but he's grown on me quite a bit. And then one that the nerds out there might appreciate is before esports and pro gaming were really a thing in college, I was actually sponsored to play World of Warcraft as in Arena, one of the first Arena seasons that came out, actually the third Arena season, where I was reached the top of that, which was called Gladiator at the time. Now each of the seasons has their own name, but never went to any formal competitions under the sponsorship or anything. It was more or less, there's no Twitch back then. It was more or less just having to change and put a clan tag in front of my name and all that good stuff while I was doing that. And wasn't big money. It didn't last for too long, but it was far, far long before that actually became a real scene. So that was a cool thing. But yeah, I suppose that's about it.
All right, that's a pretty cool fact. Well, with that, I will say thank you, Blinkinator, for taking some time to come and talk to us. We really appreciate it, and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, my pleasure. It was nice to meet you, and I am looking forward to everything else that I can learn about the game.
Welcome to another player spotlight on the Farm RPG podcast. I am Auggie, and with me today I have Mortality.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So, how long have you been playing the game? How long have you been around?
So I've been around since September or late September last year. So a good while.
Yeah, it's a while. How'd you find out about the game?
So my friend found this game just browsing the App Store like many other people, just looking for new games and stuff. And he kept asking me to play this game. And I looked at it with him and it just looked boring. Like there wasn't really graphics or much of anything. Especially at that point in the game, there wasn't.
Yeah, like what are you going to do?
Ton to do.
You just plant peppers for the first, 10, 15 minutes of playing.
Exactly. That's what I did for about the first 3 days. Was just plant peppers and craft iron cups and stuff like that. But he finally got me to play it after like 2 months because he started way in the beginning. And he finally got me to download it. And then it was just a race because that's very competitive with each other. And so I just started catching up. And he played the game for a few months while I played it. And then as soon as I way past him, he gave up entirely. I've tried to get him to play several times since, but it's just not going to happen at this point.
Well, you raced and you won the race, and I'm glad you're still here.
Guess. Yeah, I just kept going with it.
I wonder if your friend was to log on today and see all the changes that just in a few months have happened, like what your friend would think. Like, it's crazy.
At that point in the game, there wasn't as much to do then as there was now. Like,
yeah, we've got new zones and got the mega beats. I need a mega corn seed.
As far as he got the Inferno Sphere, and that's about when he stopped.
Oh, well, yeah, he's got it. Tell your friend to come back.
Yeah, he got pretty far. Actually, I could go look and see about what farming level he got to. Let's see. He got to farming level only 62, but he had most of the runestones and stuff like that.
Well, maybe someday he'll come back, and maybe we'll get him on the podcast if that day ever arises. Show him this episode when it airs.
I will.
Well, since you've been around for quite a while, if you only had one sentence, how would you describe Farm RPG in its entirety?
So I'll kind of explain it the way that I play. And it's something that you can just pick up whenever you want and do whatever you want. And as long as you're doing something, you're making forward progress. You could be doing anything from spinning the wheel a bunch of times in the day, like Auggie does.
Like I do.
Or going for merit badges or something. But as long as you're tapping away on that game, you're making progress. And that's what I love about it, is you're working towards something. You may not know what you're working towards, but you're working towards something.
Yeah, you're doing something. Even if you're just, exploring, you're working towards the exploring merit badge, or you're getting materials to craft. Or
there's no backwards progress. You're not like going to die in the game like you do other games and lose all your stuff. There's no going back, like you're only moving forward.
Yes, I like that also. That was a good description. That was better than mine. I was the first to give a one-sentence description, and the bar I set was like, it was not even, it was like below the ground. It was so low. And everybody has just so
I
strongly
mean, I
had
didn't even
so many
I didn't
better.
even put anything in the game in there.
I mean, there you're always moving forward. That's good. That's like genius. Better than me. Better than me. That's all I gotta say.
That's true, but okay.
Okay. So what about your username? Where did Mortality come from?
Honestly, I can't trace it back all the way. But when I was little, looking for like usernames for like Xbox or stuff like that, I'd always just steal my dad's usernames. And he'd get mad that when he tried to play the game with me, I already took his. And so I had to come up with my own because he kept telling me not to keep stealing his.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, once I took his Xbox Live username, it was over. He said, "You need to come up with your own. You're creative enough." Um, but that was about the time when I got into Steam, and I noticed that everyone, I don't know if they still do it, but everyone had like unique Steam IDs. And
Yeah, so you could have
that's what I
like
wanted to get was
you could have
something
your own
very
username, but it had
right. I wanted to get something super easy to type in. That way, if you wanted to go to my Steam profile page, it'd be super easy to type. I think it's just like steam.id slash whatever. I don't know if it's still like that today, but I finally stumbled upon, I just kept finding random words that I liked. And I found that one and it stuck.
and it stuck.
And I think I stopped playing Steam for a couple years, like any games on Steam. I came back and someone had gotten into my account to steal my username to sell it because I had like such a short and like unique ID or whatever. I'm sure they sold it for like $1, but
Yeah.
I can't find it.
That's so someone hacked your Steam just for your username.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I'm sorry
Because
that
when I
happened.
finally got into it, it took a while to get back into it. But when I finally got into it, I just had a random string of characters as my username and Steam ID and everything. So I'm assuming, I mean, they didn't take anything. Like, they didn't take any, like, skins or whatever I had in any games or anything.
They just changed your
So,
username.
pretty much. I can't think of any other reason why they would do that.
What a weird niche criminal activity to partake in.
I know.
Stealing usernames.
I guess that's what people do.
I guess. Not I mean, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, besides Farm RPG, I know you've talked about Steam and Xbox. What other games do you like to play?
Just it's a lot of just like simple games like on Xbox that I can just pick up with my fiance and play. Lately, she's begged me to start playing Ark with her. I don't know if you've played Ark, but I've gotten hooked to that, and it's great.
I have not.
It's kind of like I'm sure you've played Minecraft,
Yes.
but it's kind of like that. But if you're put on like a really hard difficulty, and it's way more in depth to get things done. Like you're playing for hours just to go find something or something like that.
See, I play
And setting up a
Minecraft.
base takes days.
See, I play Minecraft on creative mode.
True.
Yes, I don't like when
I mean,
things attack.
that has its own niche too. Like you don't always have to just be playing in survival to feel like you've accomplished something. As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Yeah, the because I work at a school, and towards the end of the year, we have like an Xbox that somebody donated to us, and we have Minecraft on it, and there's like at the end of the year when there's nothing to do and the kids just have free time all day, they can hang out in our classroom and just play Minecraft. And they built like an entire city.
Oh my.
And it was just like they all had in
That's
their own
great.
little houses, and they built a store, a castle.
I remember when I was in high school, we weren't supposed to be able to get on to playing games like that, but someone figured out how to put it onto like a USB drive and share the file around to everyone, because on the school computers you could just share files and everyone could access it. And it became something like that, and it got way too out of hand, and there was a whole town and everything. It was crazy.
Yeah,
They caught one pretty fast though.
Yeah. It's just like, I love that you can just sit any group of people in front of something like Minecraft or another like world builder and just see what happens. Sometimes you'll get one or two people that just want to like choose chaos and like put like explosives places, but otherwise,
Of course.
you get really crazy designs. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what is one thing that you wish that the farm RPG community knew? It doesn't necessarily have to be about the game, but it can be. Just a word of wisdom.
You can play however you would like, and you can focus on building up your inventory and trying to make sure you're getting the most every day from reset. But the way that I've played this game, and it's very unconventional, but I've seen a lot of people do it, is I've pretty much traded my way through this game. And trade chat is extremely overpowered at sometimes. Like, if I would have known about trade chat, like if I would have started playing today and started out in trade chat and sold all of my gold today for just orange juice, you could get extremely far in your first week. And I wish the economy wasn't like that, but it is.
Yeah, it fluctuates.
People definitely take advantage.
Yeah, it's the trade market is like a hive mind in its own way, where like everybody just collectively like either happily or unhappily will just kind of go with what everybody else is saying something is worth or not worth. It's really like interesting. I feel like trade chat should be studied as like a social experiment.
It's ridiculous. It really needs to have like its own, I guess, like live, like updating page or something, because the ratios of people trading orange juice and large nets and stuff like that fluctuates so often that if you don't keep up with it, you're not going to make any trades. Like trying to sell things or things like that.
Whenever I go in there, I just ask, "What's the ratio?" Yeah. Someone tell me. And if I don't like it, I don't trade.
Right. People are afraid to ask, and they will just go way off, and some people will get taken advantage of for selling. I don't know. They'll sell their ferns for 1,000 for like 5 orange juice, and they could really be getting a lot more.
Yeah, that's a good word of wisdom. Don't be scared to ask for ratios in trade chat.
Exactly, and it'll get you far. Like, most people that play this game don't really operate in trade chat, but you can definitely make your way all the way through the game by spending most of your time in trade chat. And I think that's ridiculous that it can be a lot at sometimes.
Yeah, I know when I was like mid game, or like like I don't know, level like 40 to like 80 or something. I spent a lot of time in trade chat just because there were so many quests and so many things that I needed that people had.
Right. I remember the first time I found out about trade chat was about when I was looking for shiny beetles.
Yes.
It took me that long to figure out about trade chat. I think I had already passed my friend at that point of the game. I'm at like farming 60, 70, something like that. I finally figured out that you can chat in this game. And ever since I started making trades, I haven't ever stopped.
All right, next question, or I guess it's a statement, is tell us an interesting fact about yourself.
All right. So Augie and I set up this spotlight several days ago, and I had planned something for her to check out.
Yes.
So
I have your
Augie,
profile open.
if you would look at my stats, or at the very bottom,
All right, I am
and
there.
you could see that I currently don't have any merit badges.
That is
Strategically
correct.
I've set up that I have 99 Grand Masteries, 29 999 exploring.
That in itself is impressive.
I made sure to get it at
exact.
that last little explore. I had to reset one of my zones just to get it there
Oh my goodness.
with the stamina effectiveness. And I saved up all my silver to get all three of those merit badges at one time.
Oh yeah, the silver for
I don't think
the
I've
crop
seen
row,
anyone.
yeah.
Right. I don't think I've seen anyone that's gotten more than 2 in a day.
Yeah, I mean,
Mainly because people are
could
just
not be
rushing to
me.
get them. Have you?
I actually don't know how many I have now. I might have 3 now. I have 4. Wait, I have 4? Oh, I guess I have 4 merit badges. Oops.
Let's see, which ones do you have? Oh, of course, the wheel spinner.
Yes.
Of course.
I am the wheel spinner. Spinner of the wheel.
I really need to work on that. I don't know how you get all these ancient coins.
It's a sacrifice.
You spend all of your stamina
at Ember and all my nets in Minerva all day, every day.
Ooh.
I have
Ember Lagoon.
I've pulled back a little bit since I got the badge just so that I can work on other things, but I mean, I'm still spinning. I passed 5,500 spins at the time of recording. I'm over that. So,
Man, what are you doing with all your glass from Ember Lagoon?
it just goes to the void. It just voids. I try to give it away and I can't give it away fast enough.
Ooh, that pains me. Because I'm such a optimizer. I couldn't do that. Or else I'd just be sitting in trade chat and I'd be the only one selling them.
Yeah, well, like for me, it took me a while because I didn't want to void any of the gems because but now I've grandmastered all of the things that come from the chest. So,
right.
It is what it is.
Right. Oh, that was me too. Looking through, or opening large chest ones and getting those ancient coins. At some point, it just pained me to get rid of those jade. So I finally finished that.
Yeah, the jade charms and the only like mystic rings.
There are like 40 people that have finished it or something like that.
I don't know. Something like that. Yes, masteries,
I can't believe that many people just void them.
Yeah, I mean, they may still craft them. I don't. Someone might.
At all.
Maybe now with
Have you grandmastered? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Have you grandmastered Magicite?
I have.
Ember Lagoon?
That really? I have. Yes.
That's interesting. I'm only at 13,000.
Yes, like I said, a lot of time spent at Ember Lagoon.
Yeah. I can't tell if I want to work on that next, like spinning the wheel more, or go for the Raptors. But it's going to be the same thing. I'm either going to be voiding oak or glass. I have to pick one.
Yeah, I decided unless I need something from the area, I don't void oak. I'll explore enough to get, around as much as I can hold and then just go craft like a crossbow or something. Crossbow and hourglass. Or no, hourglass doesn't even use oak. Or something with oak.
The guitars.
Yeah.
Guitars. And
Yeah,
the drums, I think.
Yeah, if I have something I can make and I have all the other materials, then I'll use it.
Right.
The raptors will come when they come.
See, my thing is I don't want to. I could void oak all day, but the striped feathers, I feel like there's just too much opportunity to make those red shields, and the steel just doesn't come fast enough.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If I need to make red shields, or if I'm maxed on steel, that's usually when I'll go and get red feathers, and then use my oak for whatever. But yeah, that was pretty much all I had. Was there anything else you had? Closing comments?
No. I just wanted to make sure I got in that Grandmaster or the merit badges.
The ultimate flex.
Sort of. I could have gotten them like a week ago. I just haven't been.
You just wanted to wait.
Pretty much.
Well, thank you for joining.
One that I talk about the game with, so I figured that I'd share something with you.
Well, thank you.
And everyone that's listening.
I feel like a lot of the people that have been on the podcast saying, I don't know anybody that talks about the game. We will talk about the game all day. That's what we do. That's why we're here.
Of course. And setting up a player spotlight is so easy.
Yes.
You just message Auggie.
Or Belligan, one of us. And one or both of us will be here. Yeah, so easy. If y'all want to be on Spotlight or on the podcast, whatever, just send us a message. You don't have to do any work. All you have to do is talk. All right. I'm going to just give my classic sign off and say bye.
Bye.
This is another player spotlight on the Farm RPG podcast. As always, I am your host, Bellogan, and with me today is Witchcore.
Hi.
Glad to have you on the show. We bumped into each other the other night in giveaways chat, and you volunteered to come on, so thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, of course. I am always in giveaways chat, it seems. And yeah, I love the idea of a mobile game having a podcast. That's so, I mean, to me at least, that's really rare.
It probably is. I had the harebrained idea to start this probably back in February, and I'm like, would anyone be interested or listen? And I pitched it to the staff, and they all seemed really excited. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm on the hook. We got to get this going now.
I love that. Like when that happens, when you have an idea and then all of a sudden, like, you have to do it. Oh, that's the worst, but the best.
Then there's expectations. So once you publicly voice it and people know, it's no longer just something in the back of your brain, right?
Well, I'm happy to
Witchcore looks like
participate. Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just saying I'm happy to participate. I'm glad to be on this.
So it looks like you've been playing not quite a month, since June 8th of this year. Where did you first learn about Farm RPG?
So I learned about it because I am a lurker in the Something Awful forums. I post very rarely, and there is a Farm RPG thread in the games subforum. And yeah, it just honestly, if a game has the word farm in it, I'm going to check it out. So that was the initial hook. And I think I've been playing farm simulator games since Harvest Moon 64 when I was maybe 10 years old. So, I'm 34 now, and it's just been a lifelong kind of fixation for me.
It's cool. I love that. I think a lot of us that are original members of the game probably wouldn't have played farm games in the first place, but we play Firestream games. So like, oh, this is what's next. All right, I guess we'll get on board. But we definitely have a very wide audience that kind of buys into that farm genre.
Yeah, there's something about digital vegetables that have really drawn me for a long time, and just the sort of pattern, right, of growing vegetables, giving them to people, very slowly advancing, and just, yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. And I've worked on a farm. I work in food, and I think it's just having a game that reflects a little bit of that is really nice for me.
There might be some slight similarities between real farming and what we do in Farm RPG, but probably not a whole lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's more, well, no, I think there's the same amount of spiders between each one.
Maybe. We do have a few spiders here, for sure. So if you're going to give a sales pitch for Farm RPG to someone to try to get them to play, what would that sales pitch be?
Oh man, I really liked, I think there was one of the reviews that the game itself includes, but it's like Harvest Moon with spreadsheets. And I find that really does, it hits upon a sort of programmer subliminal state of just making sure everything just aligns just so, and then it's just dressed up in the kind of accoutrement of farming and fantasy. So yeah, it kind of hits you in that moment of just making sure things align, and there's a pleasure in that,
Yeah, I agree. I like the strategical aspect of it myself as well, and the kind of number go up aspect of it. I think hooks a lot of people. It's incremental little things to work on and goals that they keep me around for sure. That and the community, I think, is a big part of it as well.
Right. I didn't even mention that, but just the idea of, to be honest, public channels in games are historically not great. Either the communication's really bare bones, which is fine, or it's just awful, right? And it's full of like children calling you slurs. And this is so different. It's like a nice, normal kind of middle ground where people can mess around, especially in giveaways. I don't know what things are like in trades, but in giveaways especially, everyone's just really goofy and silly, and you become a little bit of a character, and it's at the same time, I think it's a really interesting practice in like digital mutual aid, even though like none of this really means, materially it's not that significant, but just the idea that, one day I might need, let's say spiders, and the next day someone is requesting like shovels and I can like help them out with it. I don't think shovels are even a thing in the game. I forgot. But anyway, like there's a exchange, there's this understanding that there's no real hierarchy. It's more just like, I want to help, and sometimes I might need help, and we're just going to be fine with that. I love that.
Yeah, giveaways is probably where I spend most of my time if I'm not in staff chat, which is where I'm usually at, actually, staff chat. And I've lately been going to giveaways just to see if people need stuff once I've like done everything I can do during the day. And I think the thing that's funny about giveaways is people will ask for stuff, and it's not trade where you're agreeing to swap goods, X amount of this for X amount of that. You just give away what people ask for. But it seems like I end up frequently getting way more stuff, way more valuable things given back. I feel like I'm giving out without even asking for it.
Yeah, I think the first time I used it too, I had the sense, right, like as a complete newbie of, okay, this is a little humiliating to ask for something, right? Like they're going to need something in return, or, they're going to think I'm like a total, butt for like needing something. And I think that's my own personal crap too. But it's nice to, once you break that wall of like, oh, it's okay to need something from other people. Wow. What an idea.
Yeah. It's, sometimes people hesitate to go and ask, but, especially with there's a huge, let me word this a little bit better. There's a big gap between the players that have been here a long time and those that are just coming on, and what we consider valuable and what we're willing to give away because we're overflowing and have too much of it. And so it never hurts to come and ask for something, especially for the earlier players. And if you've only been around a month or two or three, that you might think is hard to get. And other players are just overflowing with it. Like glass orbs is a really good example of, you need glass, we'll give you thousands of glass. We'll be happy to get rid of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's one of the great things about the design of the game is that everything's so staggered, depending on where you are. And there's been so many different starting points and just, jails essentially, that it doesn't feel like an imposition to give or to receive. because you might hit the right person at the right time and it would just be like, giving away air.
So your username is witchcore. Where did that come from? Is that something you use other places as well, or is that unique for Farm RPG?
So it's, I think it began as my Something Awful forums username, and I've been a member of that forum. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's just a comedy forum, but I've been a member of that forum since 2003, I think, and honestly, I was just hard up for a name. And that was the one that came out. Really into like witch punk and like witchy sort of feminist culture. And so that's kind of what came out of that.
All right. Got it. So you have used it other places. It's not just unique for Farm RPG. You've also used it on the Something Awful forum, which I'm not familiar with myself. But
Yeah. I mean, I noticed too from that thread in the forum, like I see the same names that pop up in the chat in Farm RPG too, like Rogue AI Goddess. I know I've seen in the forum, and like Captain Oblivious. So there are definitely people who've done the same thing where they just like imported their forum name into the game.
Right, and use it there. Yeah. And there's plenty of corners on the internet to hang out. One of them where I've also moderated is a website called RPG Crossing, which is a website for play-by-post tabletop role-playing games. And
cool.
I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but there's a user that I've known there for years and years, since probably 2016. And he saw me here, like, "Are you the same Bellogan?" I'm like, "Yep." And now he periodically sends me stuff. If you're listening, dude, you need to increase your mailbox size. Like 5 is not enough for me to bombard you back with stuff. So.
I do love seeing like the maxed out stats people who are like on the tower, which I haven't even gotten to yet, but like who have like the 5 item mailboxes still. I just think that's really charming.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, at some point, you increase your mailbox just as a courtesy to the community. I know people are going to send you stuff and dump things. Let's just make it easy so they can click once instead of 20 or 30 times, even if you're not using trades. Right.
But even then, like there's a sense of, it doesn't take that much labor to give someone something. And it feels more, for some reason, like more poetic, more of a service when someone has a tiny mailbox. I'm like, okay, I'm going to commit to you, even though, this is such a pain in my...
Arnold Palmer, at least camp it, right? So you can click just over and over again instead of waiting forever if you've got a small mailbox.
Right. And here I am talking so high and mighty. Like I have a 30 item mailbox, whatever. You know what? Like I'm cheap, and that's just going to be...
Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But not everyone needs to be Silverado, like 700. But
Right.
All right. So we know that you're into farm games. What other type of games do you like to play? And is there anything else you're currently playing?
Oh gosh, I just finished Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicle. That was okay. Another sort of farm crafting game. I'm just really into crafting. Definitely played a lot of Animal Crossing. And to be honest, though, the game that I probably hit the most is Ring Fit on my Switch. Because, trying to be like active somewhat during the pandemic, at least in California, things are pretty, still kind of like dicey. So, just trying to stay fit. And honestly, like I play a lot of Farm RPG when I'm on my stationary bike too. So that's like my peak playtime is when I'm just trying to zone out and like, on this bike that goes literally nowhere.
Think about something besides just the pedaling in space in place.
Right, exactly.
All right. Is there anything that you wish the farm RPG community knew? That could be in-game, out-of-game, life in general.
Oh man, I was thinking about that question because you post the questionnaire on the library, and it's so huge. But I think I sort of want to go back to my point about giveaways being a demonstration of mutual aid. I think it's a really good feeling that people get when they engage in it, right? When you're able to see each other as people, not just people who are in need or people who have, not just haves and have-nots, but actually just equals, peers, who might have a lot of one thing one day and might need something the next day. I think like applying that mindset to the real world is super helpful. we live in a world where there's a lot of need everywhere. I live in San Francisco, and it's pretty clear, right? Just the inequity that exists. And I think applying that sort of mindset, right? The nice feeling of like shared humanity that we get in giveaways to the world at large is only going to be helpful. It's an exercise in empathy. It's an exercise in just humility too. And I think we can take those lessons out into the real world and hopefully make it a better place. I know that's really Pollyanna-ish, but that's one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately.
No, it's a good message. I agree with that for sure. I think one thing I enjoy about the podcast is that we get to hear people and put voices behind usernames, and you feel like you get to know people a bit more, and you treat people differently when you realize it's a real person, not just a random name on the internet of someone anonymous. So kind of tying into that thought of treat people decently, help each other out. It's a good thing to do, definitely.
Yeah, and I guess me being on this podcast is proof that I'm not a bot. So send me lots of nice stuff, please. I'll send you some nice stuff. I mean, I don't have anything. I'll send you something. Whatever it is, it'll be done with sincerity.
We got it. Witchcore wants a mailbox war. Keep that thing full. No bricks. You will live at the post office.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Thanks in advance.
All right. Do you have any interesting facts about yourself you'd like to share with us?
Sure. I guess my interesting fact is that I am a restaurant critic by trade, and I go to restaurants professionally and get paid money to eat food.
Very nice.
I know, it's the sickest job in the world.
Sounds like a fun job. I travel a fair amount for work and eat a lot of places, but I don't get paid to do that. Luckily, I don't have to pay for it. It's a corporate expense. That's interesting. So is there a specific site that you write reviews for, or a paper, or how does that work?
Yeah, I write for a newspaper, the San Francisco Chronicle. If you ever, need any advice about where to eat in the San Francisco Bay Area, look me up.
All right. Good to know. I am out that way occasionally. There's a lot of compliance workshops for a lot of the high-speed serial standards that happen in that area.
That makes sense.
Get dragged into.
Yeah. Look me up.
Right next to Silicon Valley out there. It's a little bit of high tech in addition to food.
Right, and a lot of high tech food too that is often not very good.
It can be interesting sometimes. Yep.
Yeah, if you're a fan of like seaweed bacon, definitely the Bay Area is a place for you.
I could do seaweed bacon. Yeah.
That would be my suggestion too for a new item is vegan bacon. It is impossible to play this game if you are vegan, I feel like, because you would betray your ideals every day by slaughtering those poor little pigs. So maybe we can do vegetable pigs. I don't know.
You can get away without slaughtering animals at some point, but there's not a better place for bacon in Farm RPG than from pigs right now. Not without a ton of exploring.
Right. I mean, I imagine when you're, exploring on, Mount Barren, that it's just like you're just finding bacon like tucked into like bushes. I don't really know. I have no idea how to visualize it, but it's really funny.
That's the first place bacon appeared in the game. Yep, was on Mount Bannon. Thus we call it Mountain Bacon occasionally. Mount Bacon occasionally is the nickname.
Yeah, I don't like to think that the player character is hunting. I imagine they're foraging, just in tree trunks and whatever for pieces of meat.
Somewhere they're out there. We'll have to work that in the on the podcast. We have a D&D game we're playing as well, and it hasn't aired yet. But the last session we played, our players just headed out there to Mount Bannon specifically, hunting down something. So I'll leave that as a teaser for our listeners. Potentially upcoming content. I don't know how this will line up with that episode coming out. But
oh, sounds great.
All right. Well, with that, I will say thank you, witchcore, again so much for reaching out to me and for taking some time to come be on the podcast. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
Lovely.
Hi, we're at tea time.
Hi, it's tea time again.
We're us. I'm me.
And I'm also me.
Yes.
And we're us together collectively.
Today's segment is sponsored by corn.
Corn. All corn all the time.
Corn jail.
Corn, baby. Corn jail. Everybody's back in.
How many popcorn do you
jail.
have?
How many popcorn do I have? That's a good question. Let's go look. I actually just searched it and then I left right before we started recording. Let me see. I've been updating my profile. I have 207 popcorn right now.
Ooh, you've had.
I know. I'm so excited about the amount of popcorn. But you know what? Okay, so I'm gonna start out my popcorn segment here with my shout out to Nethy right off the bat, because Nethy got a popcorn as a reward from one of his personal requests the other day, and he got like 80 popcorn from it. And I am so endlessly jealous that happened. And I think Orville also got one as a reward the other day. So now like the world is out to get me. Like I can never catch up to Nethy. I mean, Orville, he's still trying to catch up to me. But Nethy has way more popcorn than me. He's like 100 ahead now.
Well, you got 2 shout outs done at the same time.
It's like
your popcorn
I did get
is more
2 shout outs
cherished.
done at the same time. My popcorn is more cherished. I love my popcorn more, arguably, than both of those people love their popcorn combined, I'm sure. My popcorn is my life. Also, that new corn bag, the surprise corn bag. What is it called? It's the corn prize bag. Had 1 popcorn in it.
Yes.
So I want more corn prize bags. I want like a lot of them so I can get more popcorn.
You need to get to the Tower 100.
Yeah, I know. I need to get to Tower 100. That's not happening before the end of the month. I'm only on floor 54 right now. So I don't think I can shoot up like 46 levels in the next month. That's a lot of GMing.
Somebody, I happen to have spoilers open, and Affleck just asked, all we ask is where is the Sand Dollar? But have we ever stopped to question why is Sand Dollar?
Yeah, I wonder why. What about like how is Sand Dollar? I'm gonna ask that question.
I asked it before you.
Oh my god, you're faster at typing. That's fine. You can put my how is Sand Dollar. Sand Dollar. But yes, we are in the throes of the July 4th event right now.
Yes, by the time this comes out, it will be over. But
it will be just ending, I think, right? Because it goes until the 5th. I think the episode will come out maybe on the 5th.
Maybe. It may be the following week. We'll find out.
We'll find out. We never know until it actually shows up.
Someone said, how is Summer Basket?
Summer Basket. Summer Basket's doing well, I think. I like Summer Basket.
I like it.
I'm a fan of the Summer Basket.
I'm also a fan of Orville for figuring out the password.
Oh, yeah. He did a good job. He figured it out.
This is like the second time Orville has done that.
Yeah, he like strong arms the guessing. So that's good.
A good sleuth.
We love it. Yeah, we love that. Mostly because I never figure them out. I think I figured out Jar Jar, and that was my one. So
I love Jar Jar.
I think it was put in just because I said no Jar Jar, and Firestream saw me saying no Jar Jar.
So then he had to add Jar Jar.
He added it in for me specifically, the person who loves Jar Jar Binks. I do love I have a Jar Jar Binks t-shirt, by the way.
I have the Jar Jar.
I love that shirt.
I have the Funko Pop.
I don't have any Funko Pops. Actually, that's a lie. I have one Funko Pop, and it's Austin Powers.
I feel like that's on brand for you.
It is on brand, and I didn't buy it. My friend, whose name is Austin, gave it to me because he was leaving my work and he was getting rid of all the stuff on his desk, and he's like, "What do you want off my desk?" And I said, "I want the Austin Powers. Thank you." And he gave it to me. So
thanks, coworker Austin. Also a shout out to you.
Thank you. Also shout out to you. You will never hear this, nor do I speak to him anymore.
But
R.I.P.
You have a pop.
But I still have the Funko Pop named after him, or that he gave me, sharing the same name. But yes, that is my one and only Funko. Is Austin Powers. But Jar Jar seems like it'd be on brand too. I should probably locate a Jar Jar Binks Funko Pop at some point in my existence.
I agree. I'll send you the link if I find it on the internet.
Perfect.
Can we
But yes,
talk?
we are in the throes of the. Well, yes,
the community center.
we can talk. Yes, I definitely want to talk about the community center because I did my darndest to try to get in the top spot on the mushroom day, and Silverado donated like 100,000 more mushrooms than me, and I was at like 130,000 mushrooms that day, and I was number 2 all day long, and I had every single one of his cronies in chat asking me how many mushrooms I had constantly. And then I gave up because I was like, I'm not going to fight. I don't want to fight. But yes, I attempted, and Silverado is just like the man to beat right now. So if you want the top spot, you're not going to get it because Silverado's donating the entire goal himself most days, I think.
Yeah, I think it was, it might have been yesterday, it might have been a couple of days ago. At the time of recording, it will have been sometime last week, like when this airs. And the item needed was steak. Silverado, yes. This is a call-out post for spending 59 billion silver on steak.
Holy cow! 59 billion on steak? I don't even have 59 billion. I have like 27 billion right now. On steak. He just had to keep that top spot. So he's just selling. How many large nets did he have to go through to get that? That's my question.
He might have had it on hand.
What a monster.
Oh no! My boyfriend just came in and showed me a picture of our local mall had this like retro game store that I really loved, and apparently they closed.
Oh no!
This is just information I just received. I need to find where did they go? Find out if they closed or what happened. Game World. Look it up and tell me.
Shout out to your local retro game stores out there, yes. Wherever you're at. My local one, my favorite one locally, is called Core Gaming, and it's in Salem, New Hampshire, and it rules, and you should go there if you're anywhere near there in the world, if you're listening to this. Core Gaming, shout out.
A shout out to all local retro game stores that are not chains. If it's a chain, don't mess with it. Only the little, like the store owned by like one guy, and he's got like the same 3 employees, and like they're all always there.
Yep. Yeah, mine is actually, my sister's was friends with this guy in high school, and he opened the store, and it is literally bomb. So I know the guy that owns the place, and it's amazing. It's got such a good selection locally, good pricing, really great stock. I love a local retro game store because in my house, we are very big retro game collectors. We have a lot. We have a very large library. And he keeps us, keeps our collection growing. So
well fluffed.
I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. It is very well fluffed, believe me. We have a lot of stuff. We are, very, very into collecting the old stuff. So not like the super, like we don't like do the NES. We do like SNES and up here. But right now, everything that came out for like the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube era is so expensive. We spent so much money on just trying to buy stuff that we had when we were younger. My husband sold like his whole collection at one point when he was moving, and like we're trying to get a lot of that stuff back. I'm a literal hoarder, and I have kept everything I've ever owned, so my collection's pretty all right. It's just if I lose something that I have to rebuy it.
Yeah, we before we moved, I worked at a retro game store, one of the chains. I will not name it. I will not do that. But it was not a good place to work, but I was able to get some like stupid good deals on random stuff people would bring in that was just, the system just didn't price it very well, or this like we didn't buy it, and I was like, we can't buy it, and it's just like some person like who had stuff from their attic, and they're like, can you just get rid of it? And I'm like, absolutely, I can just get rid of it.
Oh yeah, there you go. Just toss it out, but it goes home to Augie's house.
Yeah, and I remember like if we had systems that like didn't work, like we had like a whole pile of them in the back room, and like I wound up like giving them to one of my friends that collected retro games before we moved because I didn't have the space. But I had almost like 20 GameCubes that were just like, they didn't work for whatever reason, whether it was power or disc. whatever, like the controller ports
Just
didn't
busted.
work. But like cosmetically they looked fine, and I had this dream of like doing something cool with them, and I never did. I still have a couple of them. It was like the GameCube stack.
Yeah, that's awesome. You probably could even if you had them now, they sell for a lot even broken now. GameCube is like highly collectible.
Yeah.
And people are fixing them up because it's like dead. It's a dead tech at this point. Like it's just so they're extremely highly collectible. All those old systems.
Yeah,
they're going for a lot of money.
Yeah, I wound up selling a whole bunch of stuff that I had just collected over the years, but I kept my most favorites, and I still have 3 Nintendo 64s. I'm like 4. We have 4 combined. My boyfriend's got his, and it's not out for display because it's just the basic one. But
yeah, we have 3 in my house. But 2 are the basics, and I have the Pikachu one because I'm ridiculous. I have every Pikachu.
Also have the
system.
Pikachu one.
Hell yeah, that one's the sickest one. That is the best Nintendo 64.
I also have the orange Pikachu one that was like a Japanese one. My boyfriend,
that's a nice one.
Bless his heart, got it for my birthday with not 1 but 2 of the controllers.
Wow, that's awesome. That's like a dream item for me. It's too expensive now.
And you know what? I think it was actually at that retro game store that just closed that helped him like quote unquote mod it to make it play US games. It's not really modding it. There's a couple little like plastic clips you just take out.
Right. Yeah, no, that's sick. I have the Game Boy. I have the Pikachu Game Boy. I have like a lot of Pikachu systems because that's like one of my collections is Pikachu like gaming systems of all sorts. So I have like a lot of DSs and Game Boys, and then I have the Pikachu Nintendo Switch when that came out, when the Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu game came out. They came out with like a
little
Pikachu Switch. Yep. So I bought that Switch, and I'm just crazy. I have this crazy like they call it like the nipples Pikachu 3DS because it looks like he's got nipples where the cameras are. But I had to wait in line outside of a Toys R Us to get that bad boy. It's very good, but I actually used it, so it's beat to
Sweet Bee.
You'll have to bleep me.
Tarnation.
Tarnation.
Yeah. I said a swear word.
Oopsie. No, but I have.
But
maybe I'll dig it out and send it to you. But it's like I don't know what model DS. It might have been for the original or the DSi or the 3DS, but it's just a Pikachu, and I don't have the cable, but it's a charger port. So like the Pokeball is like open, and like you stick your system in the middle, and like the cheeks are supposed to light up. I don't have the cable, but awesome. Like I'll have to find it and show you a picture.
Yes, please send me a photo of that. I'll add it to my list. But yeah, Pikachu is like one of my, like, I collect Pikachu, not like plush or anything, but like weird
merchandise,
like electronic things. Yeah. So like I have like a plug that goes on the wall that's like a USB charger, and it's just Pikachu's butt. Like it's just super weird. But a friend got it for me in Japan, and it's just like very strange. It's just his butt. I'll send you a photo. But like, yeah, I love Pokemon in general. Like Pokemon is like my big thing. I love it. And
your jam.
My wedding was Pokemon themed. My wedding was Pokemon themed. We're like very serious about Pokemon in this house. So
I love that.
I just adore. Yeah, Pokemon. Woo! Big fans.
A fun summer
but that's like
activity.
Doesn't have anything to.
I was gonna say a fun summer activity. Find like some random like Pokemon cards and just like paint them. Leave like the Pokemon itself and just paint around it. The local library did that, and I went with one of my coworkers last week, and just mine came out absolutely. I'm not an artist. It didn't come out very good at all. I'll also send you a picture of that after we're done.
Yes, please send me a photo. What Pokemon did you do?
It was a Sableye. They just had like a stack of like, it was just, I don't know, there were like 15 or 20 cards, and just everybody pick a card, here's some paint, go wild.
That's fun.
Yeah,
sounds like
it was fun. It was fun, but I needed a do-over card. I didn't have a do-over card.
Well, I have a stack of cards here that I don't barely use, so I should try it. sometime when I have a minute to like paint.
Your artistic skills.
Yeah, use my skills of an artist and paint something. I just doodle. I draw a lot, but painting. I only paint minis for like Dungeons and Dragons. That's like the only painting I ever do. Oh, D&D.
Oh,
How
D&D.
I love you.
Yes. How fun you are.
Mm-hmm.
I have to keep remembering we're going to be on a different night this week. Not for anybody listening.
Oh, that's just right.
That's just me remembering that we're physically recording on a different night.
On a different night this week, yeah. That I have to, I'm gonna have to remind my husband that that's a thing. I don't even think I told him because it like left my mind immediately as soon as we stopped recording last week. Oops.
Me too. I just remembered.
See, even if I write us both, let me write this down.
Even if I wrote it down, I'd write it. I'd put that down, and then I'd forget about it until I saw it again.
Yeah, I just put on a note card that I'm sticking to my monitor so that I remember. My God, good looking out, reminding me there.
Yes, but and you remind me on Wednesday.
I will. I'll send you a message on Wednesday when I look at this card that's sitting right in front of me, and I go, "Oh yeah."
Yes, we record on Wednesdays, and every Wednesday we will all send. Well, some of us, mostly just me and Boobun. I think it's actually just us. We'll send a stupid
I think it's
GIF,
just us.
And it's just like a Wednesday GIF. I'm looking at it. It is just us. It
is just us. We send the most. It's the most
the worst.
What's that? Remember that old website that you could make those sparkly? It's all blingy. They're blingy style GIFs that have a lot of sparkles and very small movements done usually by a very creepy animal of some kind.
Have a wacky Wednesday. Good morning. Have a blessed day with a creepy giraffe with human eyes just blinking.
Yeah, human eyes where its nostrils are.
Yeah, and
it's
the tongue is pulsating for some reason.
It's very unsettling.
And then you and I just sent a whole bunch of corn gifts.
Corn gifts. I appreciate the Tim and Heidecker It's Free Corn gif. That's my favorite show. Tim and Eric. I love Tim and Eric. Great job. And that's from that.
I never knew what that was from.
Yeah, well, that's what it's from because it's free real estate. And it's free real estate, and it's just doesn't make any sense. It's a very good skit. It's free corn, and then I'm sending Child of the Corn gifts Children of the Corn, because I feel we're all children of the corn when we play Farm RPG.
Yeah, well, they're
another great.
Yeah, there's a whole. I didn't go too deep into it because I didn't really want to find the answer, but one of the gifts that I sent, it's corn male rule number 2: walk the path of the corn. And there were a bunch of them, and I feel if I kept looking I could have found the source, but I was afraid of what I would find in the end, so I didn't.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's a weird vibe. It's a weird vibe.
That is a weird vibe.
Oh, my corn is ready. Harvest, plant more. I'm in corn
I don't
jail.
know why the corn male. I see here I just searched for it, and there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Corn males after a long day in the field, and it's just a dude flexing. Corn male. What? I don't understand. And then I'm seeing things about wheat males. What's I don't know what the difference is.
I feel this
what is this about?
I feel maybe this.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm gonna assume it's real farmers who plant specific crops, like our gang wars, but it's them with their crops.
That's entirely possible. Maybe it's real farmers doing real farm stuff, having real farm RPG gangs
on the internet,
out in the real world on the internet. Yeah. Interesting.
That's what we're gonna say.
The world's a wild and wacky place. Yeah, full of wild and wacky stuff. These are wacky.
Arnold Palmer.
Yips, man.
That's another tarnation for you.
Oh man, oops, sorry. My New Englander is coming out, and I'm swearing too much. Sorry.
That's okay. Listen, there have been many people. There have been people that say, "I don't know if I'd be able to not swear on the podcast." And I'm like, if it happens, it happens. You'll sound goofy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You sound silly. You get a tarnation added or something else.
Yeah, one of the other ones. Tarnation is just the most memorable one because it's so funny. Thank you, Temple.
It's very good. Yes,
and
thank
Night
you, Temple
Fury.
of Stones, for your tarnations. Also, Night Fury. Yes.
Shout out
Very,
to
very
both
good.
of them.
Yes, full shout outs.
Also, a shout out to everybody.
Yeah, shout out to you
everybody.
listening.
Shout out to the person who is also in corn jail. It's me.
It is you.
You're sending me more corn gifts.
Yep. I don't know if this is even animating that I just sent it. I am also growing corn right now.
I need to add that one to the game.
Yes. Please do. Oh my god, that one's great. That one is a good one. That one does need its own library page. But yeah, I'm not even like at Tower 100, so the 5,000 corn doesn't even apply to me. But all the corn that I did have to put in for like the end of the last few quests has been like so many. So I'm like regrowing my corn stock so I can have at least my full inventory's worth of crops. Because that's what I try to do. I try to keep like a full inventory amount of each of the crops, if I can. So like some stuff like that grows fast, no, but like a lot of the stuff that is, easy enough to not have a lot of, I just sit and grow for forever. So most stuff I have full inventories of.
Oh, I have to like. Can you make that be a GIF instead of an MP4?
What?
I don't know.
This corn?
Yeah, the one I sent.
Let me see.
You're better
Is
at.
it an MP4?
It's an MP4, and I know there's a way to do it, but I don't.
Yeah.
Want to get
see.
a virus?
Hang on. I can probably do this. Hang on.
Excellent.
Of course, I left my iPad downstairs, so I will have to probably do this in a, an interesting way here, but I'm going to do it for you.
Thank you.
Let's see. You're welcome.
Then you can just send it back to me on Discord, and I can actually just pull the link from there. It's so funny.
It is so funny. This is too good. Open in folder.
It's just going to be a library page called corn because there's not one, and I just created it, and now it just has a broken link because it won't show an MP4 like that. That's newly added. I didn't see that last time.
It's very good.
A lot of the corn ones
Here you are.
Uncomfortable to look at.
Oh, it went to a. Why is it? Oh, it's trying to send it as a PNG. Open image in new tab. I'm just going to put this on my desktop. Here you are. Enjoy.
Let's see.
It's a very good gift. I'm a big fan of this. Beautiful corn.
Yes, it's there now.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful corn.
I just posted it in spoilers.
Oh, good. Let me go see.
Belligan may have to edit out some of those awkward silences that we had while we
were converting gifts.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, he can always put Girl from Ipanema back in if he needs to.
Wade disagrees.
I don't.
That's unfortunate.
No. No disagreeing allowed.
I also just sent it in staff chat.
Oh, good. It's just corn.
It's just corn.
I'm surprised the library page of just corn was not made before now.
I mean, there was no reason.
That's true. I guess that's true.
I think we have a corn jail, but that's like a whole thing.
That's like your life in this. That's everybody's life in this. It's just.
I have always said we are never really out of corn jail. Ever.
Never.
None of us. Not even Firestream.
Nope. Stuck forever growing corn. In fact, like when I first started playing this game, every time I was playing it, my husband would ask me what I was doing. I was like, "Oh, I'm growing corn." So he just called it Corn Game for a very long time.
That's the new. That's the new name.
Anytime I was playing it, yeah, it's Corn Game. And every time I was playing it, he'd be like, "Oh, what are you growing corn?" I was like, "Yep, I'm growing corn. That's
corn
what I'm
game.
doing." Corn Game. And when I was in original Corn Jail, so very long ago.
Corn RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Firestream actually got the trademark for Farm RPG, so now it's like very tiny, but on the homepage.
Oh, and I see the TM. Yeah,
the itty bitty TM.
That's great.
Yes. So
now it is trademarked. No.
when he
Nobody can take it now.
When he told us about it, I have that little like TM like as a bookmark on my phone's keyboard. So obviously I had to send it with the TM.
Yes, I love the little tiny like the TN you can send, or the you can do the copyright C sometimes. I used to save that one back in the day. That was a fun one. Copyright.
Yes. Somebody oh no, somebody in spoilers is upset about the corn quests.
Boo-hoo. Cry more. Cry more. Cry into your corn.
It'll water them.
Yes.
Wade said corn struggle builds character. It's like, because the thing with corn jail is it's not a long crop.
No, it's not.
It's just corn. It's just corn.
It's corn. It's corn. I have a deep love of the corn in this game. I just, I don't mind growing it. It's fine. For me, it takes 24 minutes. It's whatever. It's just corn, man. Just grow your corn.
Yeah, we just need to get butter in the game.
Oh yes, so I can put it on my popcorn. Hot, fresh, buttered popcorn. What's sad is I barely eat popcorn ever, because I can't eat it now that I'm old. It gets stuck in my teeth too badly. I don't have those young 20-year-old teeth anymore, and I can't eat corn like popcorn because I get terrible kernels stuck in my teeth all the time. It sucks. The older you get, the more painful popcorn becomes.
That's the real way to tell your age, is just, can you eat popcorn?
Can you eat popcorn? I
can. I don't eat it very often, but it does get stuck in my teeth, but I just have to floss it out.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes it is worth it. Sometimes when you just have a popcorn craving, it's worth the hassle. But yeah.
Someone asked if that's the reward for 5,000 corn. The corn locket.
Give me the corn locket. Make it an in-game item.
I do love spoilers, chat.
It is a good play. I've been popping in the global more often. I've been trying to anyway.
You've been
trying to look out at some of the other chats. Yes, I've been lured out multiple times, just to see what's going on. I think the other day when Kia came back, I was lured out to come into global. I ended up drawing her character the other day. So
yeah, I think she posted it somewhere, and I saw it. It was very cute.
Oh, she did. I didn't see that.
Because I saw it somewhere.
I'm bad at the internet. I never pay attention to anything. I have to be physically added in order to see things.
Yeah, I definitely lurk, but for the most part, if it's not like a red flag in my face, yeah.
Yeah.
So much more corn.
I need to be alerted. So much corn. How many corn do you have currently?
Right now I am 41% through the last the rocket's red glare that wants 5,000 corn.
That's a lot of corn left to grow.
Yeah.
Well, even halfway through.
Well, so this is a good indication too for people at all 99s. The average inventory is about 1,000. So the quests wouldn't ask for, a lot more than that. But when you're at Tower 100 with that strange gem, however, we are seeing the new average.
Gem.
We're seeing the new average. So
the new average of 5,000.
Quests will be much more evil for the
quests
late game.
Will be much more evil for late game at Tower 100. Me being late game and halfway to Tower 100, I still don't have. I think my inventory is maxed out right now at 2750. So I'm getting there.
You're getting there. But because Firestream was dropping hints in staff chat that he was going to do the strange gem, and we were all like, please let it be before the event. Please let it be before the event. And then it was before the event, and thank you, Firestream, for the strange gem. Thank you.
Yes, that strange gem is OP. I want that so bad. And my good pal Steph just got Tower 100, and I'm so jealous. And her husband is inches away from it himself. And I want it, but I'm nowhere near them. They got 49's like a full 6 months before me, so they're a little bit further ahead with their GMing. So they're the ones that dragged me into this game. So they're the ones to thank that I'm here. Craigle Sticks and Steph Sticks, both of them. They are in this game. They are very good people. I think Steph hangs out in giveaways often, but Craig doesn't chat. So
Well, we love
neither
both
of them are. They're very good. They're good people. So you can send them trout. Fill their mailboxes with trout.
That reminds me to send FFFF some trout.
Yes, trout him.
I'm gonna trout him.
Get trouted.
Good
plan.
Trouted. He's been trouted.
Good. Oh boy, but yeah, good event. I sold my Inferno Spheres today. I'm happy.
What'd you get?
I'm getting my. I think I got 15 bill off of it, maybe a little bit more, 16 bill I think, and I'm waiting for the other sphere. The flame, is it flame sphere? What is it called? Well, am I dumb? I just don't remember. Lava sphere.
The flame sphere.
Lava sphere.
No, there's a flame
sphere.
orb. There's a flame orb.
There's a flame orb. Yep. I'm again. My memory is that of a goldfish. I don't remember anything. And
it's the red one.
It is. It's the red one. Yeah, the other one, not the Inferno Sphere. It's the other one. So,
yes.
Oh boy.
I don't know if Belligan will keep this part in, but yesterday, which would be, oh God, what's today?
Yesterday is Sunday, so Saturday.
Yeah, yesterday I just casually said, I wonder if Firestream's going to rig the item of the day. And he was like, oh, shoot.
Uh-oh. He had probably forgotten, yeah.
So.
Needs that big money. So thank you for reminding him. That's nice of you.
I was just kind of casually
because yesterday it was
like
slime stone. No, what was it? It was like shimmer stone or something yesterday. Stones. And I was just like, oh, I'm not gonna sell my shimmer stone. That's not worth it. And then I was waiting for that good money because I was holding on to all my spheres to see, because I usually will hold on to the end of the event to see if it'll pop up as one of the items of the day. So I appreciate it when it is.
Yes, I love getting the big money to use on the big money. Upgrade.
Yeah, I love. Yes, I need to upgrade a bunch of stuff right now because I want to get all my productions up higher, because I'm at unfortunately I am at max orchard at the moment, so I can't do much there, but everything else I want to get my straw up to being max inventory every 10 minutes so that I can just use all my antlers.
That's also kind of what I've been attempting, but straw gets so expensive. I'm up to, because with the strange gem, my inventory is 6,500 now. I got my straw up to 3,000 every 10 minutes. To upgrade it one time is 30 million.
Yikes! Yeah, mine. So right now I get 6,000 straw hourly. I've got 1,000 straw every 10 minutes. So I'm nowhere near that. That's so expensive. I was gonna do 1,000 right now, but it was just that is gonna be. Let's see what it said, because I said no immediately. Oh, that's gonna be 15 bill for that. I'm no, I can't. I can't go down that much right now. I got to save my dollars, my silver dollars.
See, I was gonna save my 100 billion that I spent forever trying to get it, because I don't fish in Pirate Cove very often. I am in Minerva. I'm a Minerva girl in a Minerva world. And I finally got my 100 billion, and then the corn quest popped up, and I was like, all right, screw it. I got the farm row. So I got the farm row.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I know, that's what I'm I want to save up for that farm row.
Yeah.
That's a delicious upgrade.
I think I decided I'm just never going to upgrade my storehouse because people keep bullying me about it.
I saw that somebody was bullying you in the spoilers attention the other day to upgrade it.
So that was I think it was Leaf said, can a ranger change the spoilers banner to that? And I was like, I guess I will. I'll just roast myself, and then I just like went offline for I had stuff to do, but had to
So
roast myself.
You roasted your own self. I love that for you.
It's no, I don't have the 10 billion upgrade. I get 12 inventory a day, but I mean, it's fine.
That's where I'm
it's
at
fine.
Too.
It's fine.
I don't want to spend the 10 bill on it on the next one, or however much it is.
It's 10 for the next one. If I'm gonna spend 10 on it, it's gonna be for more items. Because right now I can have 40 items, but I could have 45 instead.
Right.
Because right now
that's better.
I have 39 items in there right now. So
I don't know how many I've got. I haven't looked. I don't really keep a lot in my storehouse, honestly.
I just keep
just
stuff
because I don't really need to.
I just keep stuff I'll be salty about. That
like I keep like any of the big crops that take a long time. I keep like I keep the full amount in there, which I only have like 500, and like wine and stuff that like may pop up for a quest and I may not have enough for. So that's all I ever keep in there. And then like my gold, I keep all my gold in, the 100 gold chunk, and I keep a bunch in there so that I don't spend it. It keeps me from spending it. So that's where I keep it all, so that I don't like waste all my gold on like frivolous, like accidentally throwing it into the wishing well, which I do all of the time by accident because I'm throwing my water lilies in to get my popcorn every day. And I have gotten to 15 like multiple times by accident because I'm not looking. And it doesn't like, it warns you that you're going to spend gold, but I'm not reading because that's just the person I am. So I like mess up and I spend a bunch of gold accidentally all the time on wishing well, getting my popcorn. So,
oh gosh darn it.
Oopsies. But you got the popcorn.
I got my popcorn. That's all that matters. Big popcorn fan over here. I should put my popcorn in the storehouse.
You should
Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, you should.
Just to keep it safe.
Keep it stored.
Keep it stored in a safe location.
I wonder if the storehouse is climate controlled.
I hope so. I want my popcorn to be kept fresh. There it is. My 207 popcorn are now in my storehouse.
Yay.
Hooray. I don't want to accidentally get rid of it or have it be added to a quest of some sort.
Yeah. All right. I think it's time for dinner. So.
Oh, yeah. Also, it's been 40 minutes or so.
40,
so
yeah.
We should probably call it.
Okay.
But
this was
all
fun.
right. Well, this was tea time. Yeah, it was a good time. Good convo.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.